let's not even dance around it. Let me not drag it. Let me not try to draw out some climatic fucking take. It's a clear 30. Easy 30'd. Clearly, Twerk in this battle. Easy went first. His first round was very good. I like this first round. Twerk's first round was his best round. He started to get on the thin ice, and you can kind of see like, this is going to be a shaky day for Twerk again. Okay, Easy got timed. You know, he was rapping, boom, 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 and time it landed. And one thing that stood out on the paper to me was Easy had no debate at all when he got timed. It's almost just like, oh, I know. Which shows me that these what seems to be short round limits was absolutely understood here. We're going to get into that in a second in a separate title. But there was no contest of the time limit and the time. And Twerk might have even gotten time during the battle too. There might have been multiple time where they got cut off of time, but definitely in the first round it was clear. Easy time. He stopped rapping. He was compliant. Didn't argue, didn't say a word. Didn't try to rap another bar, nothing. I was just like, oh, it shows me something. I'll hold on to that for a second. Second round, Easy's best round. Easy went with the whole angles of Twerk stealing, Twerk not fulfilling his potential, Twerk being bad for the culture in certain respects. You know, that whole thing that sometimes Twerk needs to expect that he's going to stand in front of. But the way Easy put it together was kind of masterful. It was kind of great the way he did it. He was kind of talking to Twerk's soul in that second round to me. He was kind of talking to him. I was just like, oh, that hurts. That hurts. But once again, in the second round, there was some choking by Twerk. He hit that water, and it was just like, third round, Easy had another very good round. It might be better than the first. It might have been. I think I remember one of the main angles in the third round was going the direction of Twerk's car being shot up. And Easy explaining that he was there and this is what happened and blah, 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 blah. So he went with a personal. He went with a personal. You know, I know these guys have been, as of the last couple of weeks, has been looking like they're best friends all of a sudden. I didn't see that coming from some of the old energy that they've had. But somewhere along the lines, they look like become very, very friendly towards each other. I don't know how that happened. You know what I'm saying? And they still went for blood in certain respects. I saw Easy even say something. I think it was in the first round. He said, "Heard your name was on some paperwork." Now, you're supposed to be able to accept anything in battle rap, right? But then at the same time, these are two street niggas, right? So saying something like that is also supposed to be like, "Ooh, is that true or not?" To put that in your raps. So I just say that to say, to even invoke that shows that they're cutting at each other, or Easy is willing to say certain things that is outside of how cordial we've been showing the fans lately. You know what I mean? And the third round for Twerk, though, he jerseyed it. It felt like a couple bars out, and then he says, "Man, I'm going through some stuff, man. That's it." And he let it go. And it was just like, we're not even getting a third round out of Twerk. It was just like, and shout out to Chilla. Chilla was there hosting the battle. Camera pans up to him. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to have that charismatic. Yo, you already know it is what it is. Classic battle, y'all. TBL, we out here. He's just like, yo, shout out to everybody. Thank you for coming out. That's it. It was like, damn. That's how the battle ends with Twerk going last. So the recap of the battle is a clear 30. Easy had a very, very good performance. If there's another thing that I noticed in Easy performance that I liked a lot, and he's done it before, but he highlighted it here, and it seems like he might have done it on purpose. The way he transitions to topics, like he even did it in a way where he called it out a couple times. This is where I insert the drug ball. And I was just like, that's nice. It's nice how he did it. Because if you just go from, I'm talking about Twerk being a piece of shit, and then just start talking about your Confederate flag shit, but the way he transitioned was creative. You know what I'm saying? So never can question how great of a battle rapper Eazy the Block Captain is. And he displayed that here today. So shout out to Easy for the performance. Twerk, he had some good haymakers that we expect, but not a good performance at all. And you saw the rant from Caps that we just played. Okay. quick topic now. Let's go to what does this mean for Cassidy and Easy? I'll make this one short for y'all. If the Cassidy and Easy battle still happens, which seems like it's becoming very less possible or probability, low probability. What Cassidy loses now is all the angles and energy that he built up in his promo. And that's one of the shitty things about Cassidy and or Twerk battling the same person on back-to-back days. You know, something can be dropped out from a fan perception, fan excitement. It could be very beneficial for Easy, right? There's talks behind the scenes that he wanted to do multiple battles in December, etc., and it was trying to alley-oop towards winning Cody. If you take down a bunch of big battlers and opponents in the last minute and leave that last impression on the year, yeah, you're gonna make a good case for Cody. You know what I'm saying? So, but outside of Easy, how good that could have been for him, especially if he wins both battles clearly, right? Let's talk about for Cass. Let's go back to him. That's not good for Cass, especially now the order of the battle, because all the Pottsville stuff, your mother on drugs, some of that stuff, Twerk used, you know. So now it doesn't get to be fresh for the rounds for Cassidy, and he built all that stuff up in the promo. You know, and then even the way that fans are psychologically, it's like when you hear something for the first time, and even if it's a cool angle and you do it a creative way after that, it's a little bit of sting left off of it now, you know? So Cass would definitely have to revisit his rounds to see where he can avoid losing edge from watching now us all the culture seeing Twerk and Easy. You know what I'm saying? But there's an upside for Cassidy in that as well. If the battle happens, the upside would be Easy clearly won. So now, if Cass was to clearly beat Easy, you know, that ups your win. You know, he was already the underdog prior to a lot of the promotion, you know, just from a pure how people analyze the battle rap style of Cass and Easy. Easy came out the gate, has a heavy um projected winner over Cass. Right. So now let's say people still feel that now that they saw a round or whatever, because it's split. I see some people say Cass won the first round. Some people say Easy won the first round. However they feel, if Cass was to then beat Easy now after clearly beating Twerk, that does more for Cass, but you got to weigh it out, you know? And once again, you would have to revisit your bars and dance around the timing of things. Timing always plays a part of how things is happening and how the fans pick up and perceive and interpret certain angles and how they hit, you know. So I see some things to pay attention to, even if that battle still happens. Let's move on to the business effect. It's only a $20 battle, right? The market of battle rap is already struggling. It's not some super lucrative arena, okay? Not everybody's pulling tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars out of these events. All right, TBL did not sell 10,000 streams today, okay? It's not a heavily promoted, led into situation. It's only one battle. You know, they could have even taken a hit by sacrificing, let's just get this battle in front of the fans. We got, you know, the situation with Cassidy and Easy. They could have sacrificed, let's just, you know, recoup something. You know, let's get $20 out of it, at least for people that really want to see the battle at this point. Let's get something. But even putting it together, man, I'm whole sympathetic towards it, because as a league, I understand even putting that little small room situation together could cost thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, you're rebooking your production crew, your camera crew, you're rebooking the back end pay-per-view. They got to work again. They cost money again for a new bandwidth. You're rebooking the location, you're rebooking security, you're rebooking the battlers. Easy's been on a bunch of streams talking about TBL still got to get more business, right? Or need the battles happening or whatever. So you don't know if they got to come out their pocket more, even though the battle didn't happen twice, already. There's just more money that comes out, and it's not easy given the climate of today's battle rap arena to cover possibly what today cost with a $20 quick VOD. Like if you want to see it, here we go. but they could just be trying to recoup as much as possible. Now, here's what really, really hurts TBL and where I sympathize with them: the performance of Twerk. Because if Twerk gets in there and has the performance that he's capable of having, why some people say he's the greatest ever, if he has that, and this wasn't Eazy's best performance ever, and time limits could have hurt that. I don't know. But this was a very good Eazy. And if you would have got a very good Twerk, the words, the clip that we played for Caps, that's not the take that goes out. The clips of Twerk saying his bars and looking like he's on thin ice, or the clips of him choking, or the blog is Jay Black got a video up right now. I'm pretty sure I saw the title of it. It was negative, but I'm pretty sure if I click play on it, he's going to start nasty, dirty, sloppy, disgusting. That's the narratives that start to go out, right? So before people even realize the battle has happened, or they're looking for their take, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Should I spend the time? Should I not spend the time, or whatever? You got this whole wave of negativity of, oh, he did it again, and all of that going on. Is just like, and then people, that's what people start to say, fuck it. I just watch the highlights. I'll just watch the clips. And now they don't even get the opportunity to pick up those sales of having a good battle. And that being the energy that goes out, that being the promotion that goes out, that being the reaction from all the bloggers and the fans that goes out. That TBL doesn't even get that now. So do you call that bad business? Depends how you look at it. So I sympathize with TBL there. I do. I don't know how they end up in this spot. There could be a bunch of variables leading in where maybe they should or they shouldn't. But at the end of the day, they put a big high profile battle in front of the fans. However they got there is how they got there. But we got to be at least happy for that. But then the outcome of it, and then the nature of the event within itself, and me knowing how the behind the scenes budgeting goes, they got fucked. I'm being real. I'm being honest. Sorry, it's true. They got fucked. They got fucked. They lost money today, if you ask me. And even if they didn't, which is a high probability that they lost money today, in my opinion. How about the battle? The upload has no replayability. You know, it goes from being a mega match and a million view video possibly that gets played for thousands of views every year, as everybody has barbershop talk years later about it and goes back and replays it every once in a while, to it's going to come and go. So what happened on the rematch? Whatever. Twerk, he didn't show up really. He was going through stuff. He jerseyed. He really didn't do his third round. His second round, he choked. His first round, he was on thin ice. It was shorter rounds. No really crowd there because the history of how they had to put it together. And nobody cares about this a year from now, this battle. Nobody cares about it. And that's loss of money on YouTube. It's just fucked. It's just fucked up. I just know this game. It's just shitty. It's just shitty. All right. Let's get into this topic. The selling of a bad product. Let me make it clear. All right. Kind of being sarcastic towards like how I put that thing in front of Eazy the other day related to Jay Black's take. Like, no, this is just an opinion. This ain't no false information that's going out. It's just an opinion. Okay. When I say the selling of a bad product, shout out to Twerk, because he even ended his third round saying, I'm going through something. And he's even got interviews where I think he said it's like he's been going through something for months. Okay. And I don't know what those things are. They could be very, very critical. And I'm a human first. So respect. I don't know what those things are, and I'm not in his personal business. But there is a but. There is a respectful but. The respectful but is somewhere along the lines between TBL, Twerk, and Eazy. It could be all three. It could be one of the three. It could be two of the three. But somewhere mixed in that, some of these people need to know, we got to assume, logically, know that this product isn't going to be good before it gets sold. It's like doing a card knowing that the main event ain't showing up, but you didn't say nothing until the stream was over and shit. I'm not saying it's that is like thievery when leagues do that, but if everybody knows that this is not going to be a good situation, there has to be some culpability for the people that still push it forward to the fans and then give us a face off and have us thinking that we're about to get a good product. When it seems that behind the scenes, people know this possibly is an opportunity to pick up your money. Whether multiple people or at least one are that's that being allegedly a priority. And I see Eazy saying certain things about Twerk. You know, we was on the phone, whatever. And it's almost as like they're getting together to say, like, yo, let's not fuck up the money, boom, boom, boom. And I respect it. You gotta get your bag. It's Christmas time too, man. These got families and bills to take care of, man. I'm no fucking hater, and I'm not trying to step on nobody's bread. But that could also be interpreted in a way of like, you walking me into something that and you're selling me something and you know it's not going to be a good product. The restaurant is not supposed to purposefully or knowingly bring out the food uncooked. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at this beautiful menu and I say, "Oh shit, I'm about to get the skirts, steak and the mashed potatoes, and you're gonna sprinkle the gold flakes on it and shit." You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes out and it's not cooked right and it's expired food and it's spoiled and it smells bad and it's not seasoned. If the chef knew that that's what the only shit that was left, you're supposed to tell me now we out of fish. You're not supposed to sell me the spoiled fish. You know what I'm saying? That's an issue. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. You can't sell a bad product knowingly. Now, it's never going to be the league's fault when they book a battle and they're not there sparring, they're not there listening to the rounds. That's not their job. The league has a job to do. You know, coordinate, collaborate, finance, and it's a big job that the league does, bringing everything together. That's why certain battlers never want to fucking work for themselves. Like, for example, there was opportunities for Chrome, and Eazy talked about times trying to negotiate with Cassidy, but Chrome and Trenches never worked it out to book Cassidy on those platforms. Instead, it was another league to book Eazy and do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, when you look at it from a standpoint of did you know? Did you know? And we have to look at it like that, even from the bars. Now, let me get into that topic. This is all, I'm just speaking what I see, and I'm trying to be respectful. This ain't coming from I'm not trying to tear nobody down. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm really being supportive, but at the same time, it's just like we gotta call a spade here. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to I give so much grace to my peers. How you sooner or later, I'm like, damn, like so we got to do a little bit of getting that shit, ARP. That's what we come to you for, your experience. Like Twerk's bars were all recent. It was like current events. The Pottsville stuff, the your mom stuff once again. He had a segment from the best part that we heard about Eazy's round in the first round versus Cass, the update him shit. Twerk came with the update him shit. So you gotta ask the question. If this battle was booked to go down months ago and it didn't happen, the Lux battle was happening, all that stuff and cool, and that didn't look fully prepared to certain people. I thought he had a good performance versus Luck. I do. But the battle didn't happen then. Then it didn't happen that on day 2, when everybody had it planned as the secret battle, right? For the night after the Cassidy event. And then fast forward, you get here, which is a couple weeks even after that. Did Twerk have bars back then? Because all I hear is current event stuff that he did the update him stuff from Eazy's round. So was he ever prepared? That's what makes fans say, how many of y'all is got this looking like this is just picking up a bag, picking up a back end? I'm trying to be logical here, respectfully, people. If Twerk would have had a bunch of material that wasn't current events from the Cassidy battle and Cassidy promotion and all that, and he was stumbling and all that, I would just said he just wasn't prepared again. But now I got to ask, was you prepared back then too? because you had all current event bars. I'll leave it alone. Um, Here's another thing that opens up that question. I mentioned a piece of that prior. The short rounds. Now, I want to assume that a battle of this stature does not have the round lengths that we saw tonight. I want to assume that. TBL, Eazy Twork come out and say, no, you're wrong, ARP, and I'll accept it. But for this to be, it's a main event battle on any league. On any league. It's a main event battle caliber. Okay. And like I said, I have eyes and ears. When Eazy got that time in the first round, he was sharply compliant. Didn't argue, didn't mumble, nothing, just boom. So maybe it's understood behind the scenes. This is what it looks like. It looks like nobody believes that Twerk is prepared like that, or maybe Eazy and I don't know. It looks like they believe Twerk or understand that Twerk might not be prepared because maybe he's going through something. And shout out to Twerk if he's actually communicating that to people, telling the league or telling. Shout out to them. But then once again, you're asking yourself, who's aware that you're about to possibly serve cold food? If you're staying with me now with my analogies, all right? So was the time limits even reduced? Because a battle of this stature, the way it was a sharp time, it was short. You know, just a question, just an observation. All right. All right, let's get into a whole different discussion now. I want to talk about the legacy of Eazy and Twerk. Okay. Now I watched the face off yesterday, and there was like a cordial little back and forth that they had when Twerk was like, I'm the best in the world. And then when Eazy spoke, he says something like, now I ain't gonna lie, after me, he's up there. That was a nice little response. That was funny. So if you ask yourself, chat, who's the better battle rapper when it comes to the timeline of battle rap? NuJersey Twork or Eazy the Block Captain? And let me give it 30 seconds before I start to go into this topic. Who's the better battle rapper? NuJersey Twork or Eazy the Block Captain? Who's better? Go ahead, chat, go. I'm going to bring some of y'all up on screen too. Eazy. It's the first one. Eazy. Eazy all day. Twerk more replay value, in my opinion. I'm not going to skip any. No picks. Eazy. I don't know. Take the question however you want to take it. At least Eazy get through his rounds. I think Twerk changed his rounds. I think, well, it didn't help him if that's the case. But Eazy, Twerk when he's focused. Eazy only because his skills are only part of the battle. Twerk really did a Hitman remix to Cass. Eazy, hold on, stay on point, y'all. Eazy. They are both equal in star power. Honestly, Twerk when he's not on BS. Eazy, Twerk. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Appreciate the chat. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are helping me lead into this topic. You see a bunch of answers that said Twerk when he's on his A game. History will not allow Twerk to do that. Current state of battle rap in the current of being like in the day, in the moment. We can all say that. Twerk can say that. I can say that. Hell, Drake can say that, right? I think Twerk might be Drake's favorite battle rapper, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody can say that, and he's earned it. And he's that good, right? But the legacy of battle rap and the timeline will not allow Twerk to do that. And I'm just being 1,000. And people rap this to Twerk all the time. It was the best round of the battle. If you guys have seen it or do see this Eazy round going at Twerk, and Twerk is respecting it as Eazy's rapping it to him. And I'm just doing a take that's based around it, so nobody has a problem with logical opinions, especially when they're already vastly a consensus, okay, of Twerk's ability. And Twerk cannot have the timeline and the legacy and the future of battle rap correct all of this for him. So the answer is Eazy. is easy, right? You can't just say, and this was one of the angles from Twerk, I mean from Eazy. He said, use a if nigga, if this, if that, if that, if that. If I was rich, I would do this. If I was had the opportunity, I would do that. Everybody could be a if nigga. Everybody. Everybody could be a if nigga. And we all believe that Twerk is supposed to be the best of all. I shouldn't say we all. A lot of us believe that Twerk is supposed to be the best of all time. But the fact is, you can't have the title. He can't have that title. I would like to be the best league of all time. Fact is, I probably can't have the title. Sorry, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Then again, no, I think I could be the best league owner, but I don't think I could be the best league. I don't think I could go down in history. That's out of my reach of being the best league. I'm keep it 1,000. Being the best league owner, though, I don't know. I might have a claim to that. I might. But I'm just trying to show you that the thing about Twerk is this, like, let's use like the NBA for a comparison, right? You got like your Brandon Roy's, who was supposed to be one of the best players that the NBA was supposed to see. How about a Grant Hill? He was one of the faces, if not the face, of the NBA for a quite a amount of time. He had all the sneakers. He had all the endorsements. We all tried to play like him. He had the talent. He had everything. Grant Hill. Injuries took him out the game. Right. Never won a chip. Thank you. I love my chat. Derrick Rose. Right. Derrick Rose has some of the best in-game highlights that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? Dunks. They used to call his shit in the paint his launch pad, right? When he gets to his launch pad. Zion is too. I don't want to talk about Zion right now. It's too early. He looks like a bust to people. This is where I was going next. Penny Hardaway, right? Almost changed what guards look like. The tall, um, almost shooting guard type of guard, right? Injuries, never won. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Philly. What's up, Philly? Since y'all have been in the headlines a lot lately. Philly, they say arguably the most skilled big man of all time is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid will never have the legacy of even a David Robinson, not a Shaq, not even in today's era of a Joker. Um, Not nowhere close to ever an Akeem Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? Why? He couldn't stay on the court. He couldn't continue to show his full potential. And then that made him lose a lot. Like he never got to the finals. And I don't know if Joel Embiid is ever going to get a chip, because if you have him on your team, the offense is supposed to run through him. He's that talented. But if you can't stay on the court, if Joel Embiid was retired within the next 3 years, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. And that would be his legacy. The if, like Easy's round, the if, the if, the if, the if. Now, if I want to try to do some analogies, Twerk's got championship rings, like his chess battle, his nitty, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got some championships, right? Or yeah, I don't can't. He's got some crazy performances, but the amount of problems and battles that were missed and chokes and big moments that didn't go or match his level of talent, it alters the timeline of your legacy. And therefore, you cannot surpass like an Eazy. You just can't, even though a lot of people think that you're better than everybody, and that's just fair to do. And I hope that that's motivational, but it's just been a lot that's already happened. So, it just is what it is, you know. Now, once again, I know Twerk at the end of the round said he's dealing with some personal stuff. So, shout out to him. Hopefully, he gets through that. But there's also been a lot of times where we've seen the choking and the unpreparedness, and we weren't aware of anything going on. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. So, it ends up being that type of outcome after all of this build up and all this drama around the two battles and all of this. You know, everybody's got their different takes. You go over to Jay Black, he's gonna do a sloppy, dusty. You go over to Caps, Caps gonna be like, "Yo, fuck that, we ain't." You come over to me, I'm gonna talk about legacy. I'm gonna talk about occurrences that I'm seeing, like with the time limits, and did you guys know the food was gonna be served cold? And I'm coming in some other angles, but it still all boils back to the fans not getting what we should get after what should have been months and months and months of prep time or knowing that this battle is on the books, because I'm pretty sure when it was all over, neither one of those guys had a problem getting paid. And that's just how the cookie crumbles in front of the fans. All right. Shout out to Bearded Brick 201. He gifted 5 of them things at 8:21. So that was over an hour and a half ago. Oh, we've been here that long. We've been here almost 2 hours. Good stream. Interesting takes today, man. And thank you for the chat and y'all participation today. God the Brand is here. He gifted 5 of them things as well. So we got 10 memberships, at least bare minimum today. I'm not read through the rest of this yet that went out today. That is so dope, and I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Shout out to the whole green team. Y'all are the truth for that today. Thank you so much, folks. We got John Hinged. Is this John Ryan? John Ryan? I bet you this is John Ryan. John Rhines. John Rhines is my homie. John Rhines has some of the best takes in battle rap, but he goes under the radar because he's never taken the full position like a full-time battle rap blog or whatever. He used to be like John Rhines Reels or whatever on YouTube as well. He used to also do the like a keep it real type of a segment, something like that. Or let me talk to you. Or man, oh no, that's what it was. It was man to man. I know John shit. It was a man to man. Like he like, hey, Mav Hoffa, man to man with you. And John has some of the most man to man real takes. And his channel now is John Hinged. So check him out on YouTube, people. His shit is incredible. And we text each other. We was texting yesterday about some shit. We text each other behind the scenes all the time about what he got going on. Homie is dope. He's a very, very solid guy. Really, really, really has some quality shit over on his channel. Shout out to John. Bearded Brick is here again. It says, I heard Nas versus Scoob is locked in.